beat goes on, the beat goes on. Drums beat pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-da-da-da-dee, la-da-da-da-da. Charleston was once the rage.
You the one killed our friend?
That's right. I shot the boy too, and I enjoyed it.
Hi, welcome to Moments with Mimi. And today we're going to get into the response because it's really all about the response. Neville Goddard calls it "everyone is you pushed out," and it's known in stories throughout, time and space as a law. It's the law of reflection. And this is that, everything's being reflected back at you. And that really people are things that your human imagination has shaped out of consciousness and filled up with something, a thought or belief that you have. So when something is happening that's giving you, pain and suffering, angst, then it's because you're slipping and starting to see it objectively. And once you go there, now you're not in a state of love. Now you're in a state of pride, which is selfishness, and and the vibration changes. Your vibration is constantly changing, throughout the day as your feelings change. So that is the vibration you're giving off, the sum total of how you feel. And so what everyone is a cup that we filled up, including ourselves. God entered into this body, and it is the human imagination that made Rita out of God and then filled Rita up with all these thoughts and beliefs that she's got to break out of. Yeah. And the human sees that as a battle, and the subjective side is love. And when you battle it, you're just making it grow. You're giving attention and love to the bad behavior. So you turn within and you give love and attention to the good behavior. And it's tricky, you get caught up in the details, and you're really dealing with symptoms when you do that. What you do is recognize this is a vessel, and so is your special person and your best friend and your mom and your dad and everybody else. They're a vessel, they're a cup. Okay? So instead of adding to the cup or removing this little bit from the cup and putting that little bit back in there, you empty the cup in your mind. No, I know they're not like that. I know I used to believe they were like that, but now I know everyone comes from the side of love. Everybody errs on the side of love. Nobody maligns another like that. Everyone loves each other and is just happy to see everybody else happy doing what they love. It's wonderful. And this is, how it manifests itself out there. Now with, people that you've been close to, that you've gotten these wonky out of the world, I never thought that about them, I don't know why this keeps happening, and if you stop and look at it, there's a pattern. Okay, everything's going great, and then here you go. Here's your fear. Are you ready to face it? And it's, when are you going to recognize it? That's that's the deal, and if you step back and look at it, you can see that, well, God, we just did this 2 months ago. Damn it. And why did I say that? And you get caught up in the details. Everybody does. Just because you texted or emailed, what you think is a very neutral response, that's not what you were vibrating when you wrote it and sent it. And they're going to feel that. They're going to reflect you, okay, what you believe. And this is, just something that we do. We all get caught up in the details. I personally don't like all that. Give me past the details. Get to the end. What's the deal? I've been like that forever. So it's really about seeing that both sides are part of a whole. It's been split in two and shaped accordingly. And this side shows its love through fear, and this side shows its love through love. And you're taking the human side, the one that's afraid, and saying, don't worry, little baby, okay? And you're going to go within and say, no, this person is not like that. I empty them of everything that I ever believed. This is confession. You confess. You can cry. The more feeling you have in this, the better. That's a stronger rocket. And you just, I know I've thought of them that way, and I don't believe they're really that way anymore. I know that. I know they don't judge me. I know I used to say that they did, but I don't believe that anymore. And you tell your story, because when you stop and think about it, you have been filling up others with a way to perceive you. Well, why does he always judge me? Why can't he just say I'm beautiful? Why can't, this is what you want. So go within. No, I empty. I know he always sees the beauty in all. I know he doesn't judge like that. He errs on the side of love, and you'll start seeing changes because you emptied it and now you're filling it back up with new feelings and beliefs and thoughts and imaginings. So instead of, just doing one here and one there, when something wonky comes out at you out of nowhere, when everything's been going great, it's probably because you didn't totally empty your perception of them. So you just go do that, The important thing is when you're caught in those moments, it's stop. Stop the movie. Stop. Sit back. The science part. Take the emotion out of it. Look at it. Why does that bug me? Figure it out. Oh, okay. And when you're telling a story, there's feeling. And when you talk to yourself, you're usually telling yourself a story. That's the natural way of doing it. And that's why, marching around doing affirmations doesn't do it. The idea is, the concept is, flip your thinking. Flip the way you've been imagining and thinking of that person. The words don't matter. It's the feeling underneath it all that matters. And at the very bottom, crawling on its belly like a reptile, is divine love. And when you lift up divine love and start pouring it into everything you've been, made aware of and have been feeding, then, you know, she can't help herself. She goes crazy. She loves you. She loves you. Pops is released. We can be together again, baby. Yeah. You know, and it just all starts rocking and rolling. It's a love affair going on. And they're apart. And you, the human imagination, the babe's the only one that can bring them together. You know, you have to go through the son to get to the father. You know, and Neville said this many, many times. And he got confused, is all. It was his perception, because the human imagination is the one in charge in this place. And Pops is just laying there. What do you want me to be? I'll do it. Oh, you like this, Rita? So one of the really good thing to keep in mind is, you know, talk about yourself during the day in third person, you know, but when you're imagining, um, when you're talking in third person, you're pulling up a picture of you. And, you know, Rita's the greatest. You know, you're mirroring it. So it's, you know, reflecting back at you. Another good thing is, you know, you can just write yourself a little story. Read it 3 times a day. You know, make it fun. And this is how you naturally do things. Everybody's different. How you naturally talk to yourself is your way. There's many ways. You know, there's Tevye talking as he delivers the milk. This is the mundane task. You know, you go to silence and you just start talking to yourself. Start running that conversation through your head. What are you saying? What are you hearing? Or do you see it? You know, Neville's main point was, if you touch it and feel the realness of it, it comes. It never fails. You know, well, it never fails anyway, because that's who you are. You know, and he came out and said the human imagination is God himself. No, God himself is consciousness and subconscious, who handed the reins over to the baby here. So, you know, it's natural for you to get lost in the details and think human imagination is God himself. But then you receive the promise. And then you're, oh no, no, God and I are one. I'm the Son. You go to the Son, you get to the Father. There's no one greater than the Father, you know, and that's how it is. And you have to understand there's always a perception that's been laid over everything. You have to find your way, your perception, your way of seeing it. But a really good way of understanding this, and it's been said by millions, empty your mind. It's the same thing with everyone and everything. Empty the cup. Empty it. Now fill it back up. You know, but you have to empty it first. So what you're doing when you're just revising this and that, you're taking that little bit out and putting this in. Okay? But if it's not full with the good stuff to begin with, you know, there's this ruddy stuff down there at the bottom, and it's going to come up to the top. And you, green moldy stuff, no. So you just, I'm emptying this cup. I'm emptying this cup. I'm cleaning it out. And now I'm filling it up with the good stuff. With the good stuff. And that special person, that best friend, that neighbor, that whoever has been yanking your chain and giving you these wonky responses, that's going to stop. Because they're not that anymore. You made a new story. So I hope this helps. It's kind of difficult. You know, everybody wants a technique, a hack, or whatever. And because Neville had this hack and it worked great, you know. And the Bible tells you of this hack, you know. Yeah, touch it. Touch it, feel it. You know? But it also tells you which, you know, a good mental diet, which is catching the response. And when you've gone beyond just wanting to get stuff, the hack just doesn't hack it anymore. I want it all, and I want it all the time, and I don't want to always have to be going to the well. You know, I'm sick of this. Then you have to empty your mind and of what you believe of whatever, and fill them back up with what you want them to believe of you or anyone else. Because when you stop and think about it, why is he always hating on me? Oh, he doesn't hate on me. He loves me. I know that. I love him to bits. I know I used to think he hated on me, but I know better now. I know. I'm sorry I said that. You know, confess. And then fill him up. So I hope this helps. It's, it can be funny what comes out at you. Because you never know. And that's why you err always on the side of love. And when you feel that twinge, that being upset feeling, that's God talking to you. Don't ignore him. It's time to step back and go think about it and listen. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you. And thank you. Thank you for being you.
But my blood is deadly to you.
Yes,
So you'll die.
so will you. After all this time, did you think I'd let it hurt?
The miniskirt's the current thing. Teenage viper and I'm newborn king. And the beat goes on. The beat goes on. Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-da-da-da-dee, la-da-da-da-da. The grocery